Go.
Okay, so we are arguing local flood, meaning that only the area around Noah and where God's people were at that time was flooded. Our first fact for that is, how did they get the animals that were native to places like North America and Australia on the ark in the Middle East? They couldn't have gotten kangaroos because those aren't in where Noah was. Our second fact is, it would have taken hundreds and hundreds of years for water to evaporate if the whole earth was flooded, and the flood water would have nowhere to recede to. So it couldn't have taken the time it took if the flood was global. Our third fact is, they could not have possibly sustained life at that level. If the water had covered all the land, it would have covered the tips of Mount Everest. And you need air masks to breathe up there, so they couldn't have breathed up there. But just in the Middle East, they still could have breathed. Also, there's proof, scientists have found proof that there were Native Americans and people living in Australia in those times. Noah wouldn't have had time to go preach the gospel to them to make sure that they knew what they were doing and knew that they were sinners and that give them a chance to want to change. Our fifth fact is that trees and plants would not have been able to survive under salt water for that period of time, and there would have been no vegetation for a really long time for the animals to have been fed with. Also, many animals like snakes require fresh food, so how would they have gotten that on the ark for years and years? Our sixth fact is the mixing of saltwater and freshwater that would have happened if there was a global flood would have killed hundreds and hundreds of fish species and completely messed up tons of ecosystems because they wouldn't have been able to survive. And our last fact is the historical account says that they landed on Mount Ararat, but there would have been tons of taller mountains that they probably would have seen first if the flood had been global. They've been floating around the globe that whole time.
Good.